Have you ever considered how seemingly insignificant morning rituals can have a tremendous impact on longevity? While modern society is obsessed with trendy diets and high-tech exercise equipment, the secret to a long life may lie elsewhere. Statistics show that people who have lived past the age of 100 share common morning habits that, surprisingly, don't take much time but can significantly increase lifespan. Imagine just 20 minutes dedicated to the right activities immediately after waking up could give you extra years of life. Sounds incredible, doesn't it? But what if it's true? Consider the story of Arnold, a 68-year-old retired accountant from Ohio. Despite getting a full 8 hours of sleep, he constantly felt tired. His health indicators were also worrying: elevated blood pressure and inflammation in the body. Doctors warned that if the situation didn't change, he risked not living to see 75. Medication didn't bring the desired results, and Arnold began to lose hope. During this difficult period, fate brought him together with Betty, a 91-year-old neighbor who, despite her advanced age, radiated energy and cheerfulness. Betty shared her morning secrets with Arnold, which she believed were the key to her longevity. Skeptical but desperate, Arnold decided to try these 5 morning habits that all long-lived people seem to share. What would happen next? Could Arnold change his life simply by changing his morning routine? In just 11 weeks, his doctor was amazed by the changes in his patient. He exclaimed that Arnold should keep doing what he was doing, clearly intrigued by the positive shifts. Arnold's blood pressure had stabilized, and his inflammation markers had decreased by an impressive 43%. And for the first time in years, he felt a surge of energy from the very morning, which accompanied him throughout the day. Now, let's look at 5 effective morning rituals that can dramatically improve your well-being, starting tomorrow. The first habit is to immediately replenish your water balance after waking up. When was the last time you reached for a glass of water as soon as you opened your eyes? If you're like most Americans over 60, the answer is probably never. Instead, you likely head straight for the coffee maker, unaware that this beverage can subtly harm your body at the cellular level. Research from Harvard Medical School has revealed a surprising fact. During nighttime rest, the body loses about half a liter of water through breathing and sweating, leading to clinical dehydration every morning. Dr. William Mitchell, a leading researcher at the Harvard Longevity Institute, explains, "Morning dehydration leads to blood thickening, which significantly increases the risk of stroke, especially in older adults. Our studies show that proper fluid replenishment within 5 minutes of waking up increases blood flow to the brain by 30% and reduces the likelihood of stroke by up to 53%. Imagine Shirley, a 73-year-old resident of sunny Florida, dedicated to teaching and starting each morning with an invigorating ritual: 2 cups of strong black coffee. Despite her commitment to regular exercise and a balanced diet, last year was marred by a minor stroke. A neurologist, after carefully examining the situation, concluded that the key factor provoking this unpleasant episode was pronounced morning dehydration. The doctor figuratively compared the patient's blood, noting that in the mornings it becomes thick, like sludge. After Shirley started immediately replenishing her water balance upon waking, blood flow improved significantly. The doctor noted that stroke risk factors decreased noticeably in just a few weeks. What is the simple recipe for wellness? It's recommended to keep a glass of room temperature water next to your bed. Immediately after waking up, before your feet even touch the floor, you should drink all the water. For an enhanced effect, you can add a little lemon juice. Studies show that citric acid promotes more efficient water absorption by the body and also stimulates metabolism. Don't put it off until later, until breakfast or morning routines. The first 5 minutes after waking up are crucial. Brain cells, parched for moisture after several hours without it, eagerly absorb the life-giving liquid. The question arises: are you ready to commit to this simple habit, which takes only half a minute, but can give you many years of active and healthy life? The second beneficial habit of long-lived people is deliberately getting a dose of morning sunlight. Many have noticed that elderly people, seemingly defying the relentless march of time, tend to be early birds. This isn't just a matter of personal preference, but rather a result of processes occurring in the brain. Most older adults simply don't realize the importance of this aspect. Revolutionary research conducted at Stanford University's Department of Neurology has shed light on the significance of morning sunlight. Dr. Jennifer Carlson, a leading neurobiologist, emphasizes that exposure to natural sunlight for half an hour after waking triggers a cascade of hormonal reactions that regulate a wide range of processes, from sleep quality to cell regeneration. The research results indicate that this practice improves sleep quality by 42% and increases the level of longevity markers in the blood. Without sufficient exposure to sunlight, older adults face accelerated aging at the cellular level. As an example, consider the story of 81-year-old Thomas, who had struggled with insomnia for years. He tried sleeping pills, melatonin, and even visited expensive sleep clinics, but all attempts were in vain. Chronic sleep deprivation negatively affected his health. On the advice of his doctor, Thomas began practicing morning sunbathing. Skeptical but desperate, he started spending just 10 minutes on his porch every morning immediately after waking up. Within a week, he noticed that he was falling asleep faster and sleeping longer. After a month, his energy levels had increased so much that his children suspected him of using stimulants. Tomorrow can be the starting point for improved well-being if you follow a simple but effective plan. Within half an hour of waking up, it is recommended to go outside for just a few minutes, from 5 to 10, and feel the effects of natural light. Direct sunlight is not required. Even on cloudy days, outdoor light is dozens of times brighter than artificial indoor lighting, providing the brain with the full spectrum needed to synchronize its biological clock. It is important to note that sunglasses should not be worn at this time, as light must penetrate the eyes unhindered, triggering important hormonal processes. If going outside is not possible, an alternative may be to stay by a window with a view of the morning sky. This simple and free habit can dramatically improve sleep quality and increase energy levels in just a few days. It's worth asking whether it's possible to set aside just 5 minutes tomorrow morning for a practice that long livers consider an integral part of their lives. In addition, long livers practice gentle movements before breakfast. A common mistake among older adults is either a complete lack of physical activity in the morning or immediately jumping into intense workouts. Long livers have found a happy medium, and it's much simpler than it might seem at first glance. The National Institute on Aging has launched large-scale studies to uncover the secrets of longevity hidden in the morning rituals of people who have passed the century mark. Dr. Robert Thompson, a prominent geriatrician, shares the results. Our research convincingly demonstrates that smooth, conscious movements performed before the first meal can boost metabolism by as much as 24% and curb inflammatory processes closely associated with ailments such as cardiovascular disease, arthritis, and dementia. The most important aspect is to perform these exercises on an empty stomach, which allows you to fully realize their rejuvenating potential. A prime example is the story of Nancy, a 76-year-old woman who suffered from debilitating arthritis that turned every climb up the stairs into a painful ordeal. Medication provided only minor relief, and doctors warned of a high probability of using a wheelchair in the near future. However, fate brought Nancy into contact with the morning movement protocol of long livers. Since then, every morning before breakfast, she devoted just 7 minutes to light stretching. No expensive equipment, no gym memberships, just simple movements accessible to everyone. Within 3 weeks, Nancy felt amazing changes. The morning stiffness that had poisoned her life for years began to recede. After 2 months, she moved with an ease she had long forgotten. "I feel 15 years younger," she confessed to her astonished doctor, becoming a living testament to the effectiveness of simple but effective morning rituals. Tomorrow morning, after waking up and drinking water, it is recommended to spend just 5 minutes performing a set of simple exercises. This short ritual can significantly impact your overall well-being and health. The first step is performing arm swings. Standing, begin with gentle, small circular motions with your arms, gradually increasing their amplitude over a minute. This exercise helps warm up the shoulder joints and improve circulation in the upper body. Next, you need to do torso twists. Sitting in a chair, slowly rotate your torso from side to side for a minute. This exercise helps strengthen the core muscles and improve spinal flexibility. The final step is performing gentle knee raises. Leaning on a chair or countertop for balance, perform 10 smooth knee raises. This exercise helps activate the leg muscles and improve coordination. Finally, dedicate 2 minutes to walking in place. This simple exercise helps improve circulation and prepare the body for the day ahead. The entire sequence takes only 5 minutes, but activates the main joints and muscles without excessive strain. It is important to perform this set of exercises before eating, as timing is crucial for achieving the maximum anti-inflammatory effect. Can you spare just 5 minutes for these gentle movements tomorrow morning? This small investment in your health can be the deciding factor between painful aging and active longevity. The fourth habit common among long-lived people is consuming a particular type of morning superfood. What a person eats within the first hour of waking can determine whether their body fights disease or becomes vulnerable to it. There is a compelling reason why long-lived individuals rarely suffer from the chronic diseases that plague most Americans over 60, and that reason lies in their morning diet. As part of the large-scale Blue Zones project, scientists studying the phenomenon of longevity made an important discovery, shedding light on the link between diet and lifespan. Dr. Emily Richardson, an expert in gerontology and nutrition, emphasizes that all known long-lived populations worldwide have one thing in common. They include foods rich in fiber and with anti-inflammatory properties in their morning diet, consuming them within an hour of waking. Clinical studies conducted by Dr. Richardson and her team demonstrate that this eating pattern at the beginning of the day can slow down the process of cellular aging by as much as 40%, and also significantly reduce the likelihood of developing cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and cognitive impairment. Unfortunately, most older Americans take a completely opposite approach, eating breakfast foods low in fiber that provoke inflammatory processes in the body, thereby accelerating aging. As an example, consider the story of William, a 69-year-old man suffering from high cholesterol and a pre-diabetic condition. Despite numerous diets and medications, his numbers continued to worsen, leading his doctor to warn him about the inevitability of developing heart disease. However, the situation changed when William learned about the breakfast protocol for long-lived people. He gave up his usual breakfast of cereal, toast, and orange juice, which are high glycemic and inflammatory foods, and switched to a simple dish of berries, nuts, and natural yogurt. After just 6 weeks, William's blood tests showed a significant improvement in his condition. His surprised doctor inquired about what medications he was taking, to which William replied, "No medications, just a different breakfast." This case vividly demonstrates how changing just one meal can have a significant impact on a person's health and well-being. Here is an action plan that you should start implementing immediately. Tomorrow morning, replace your usual breakfast with a dish that is deservedly approved by long-lived people. This is a simple but incredibly healthy combination. A cup of fresh or frozen berries, 2 tablespoons of nuts, whether walnuts, almonds, or pecans, and a 1/4 cup of natural yogurt or cottage cheese. For those who prefer a warm start to the day, a small portion of oatmeal seasoned with cinnamon, berries, and nuts is an excellent alternative. The key is to completely eliminate processed foods, sugar, and refined grains from your diet during the morning hours, when the body is most susceptible to inflammatory processes. Preparing this simple dish will take no more than 2 minutes, but its impact on health indicators can be truly transformative within a few weeks. Is it worth delaying for even one more day the chance to provide your body with morning nourishment, which long livers consider the cornerstone of longevity? Moving on to the fifth habit, it's worth noting that long livers regularly practice gratitude and mindfulness. There is a kind of invisible morning habit that modern researchers consider perhaps the most effective practice for prolonging life. Surprisingly, 97% of older people completely overlook it, rushing to start their day. What if there was a practice that takes only 3 minutes but can reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke more effectively than many medications? Scientists at Harvard Medical School have made an important discovery regarding the impact of morning mindfulness practice on a person's physiological state. Dr. Sarah Johnson, a cardiologist and mindfulness expert, emphasizes that, according to their research, people who devote just 3 minutes after waking up to gratitude or mindfulness exercises show a 23% reduction in cortisol levels, known as the stress hormone. In addition, they experience a significant decrease in blood pressure compared to those who neglect such practices. It is important to note that the positive effects persist throughout the day, protecting the cardiovascular system from the negative effects of stress. As an example, consider the story of Daniel, a 72-year-old executive who suffered from dangerously high blood pressure that could not be controlled with medication. His cardiologist warned him of a high risk of heart attack or stroke if the indicators could not be stabilized. Frustrated by the side effects of increasing his medication dose, Daniel decided to try a morning mindfulness practice. Every morning, before checking his phone or reading the news, he spent 3 minutes listing the things he was grateful for and taking slow, deep breaths. After just 10 days, he noticed a significant decrease in his morning blood pressure readings. A month later, his doctor was able to reduce his medication dosage. The doctor is convinced, regardless of the choice, this practice surpasses the effect of medication. It's about incorporating a powerful tool into your daily routine, starting tomorrow morning. Before reaching for your phone, remote control, or newspaper, it is recommended to spend just 3 minutes in gratitude or mindfulness, comfortably seated. You can start by simply listing 3 things you are grateful for, focusing on the positive emotions they evoke. An alternative is a simple breathing exercise. Inhale for 4 counts, hold your breath for 7 counts, and exhale for 8 counts. Repeating this sequence for 3 minutes helps lower blood pressure, reduce inflammation, and activate the parasympathetic nervous system, creating a solid foundation for the day ahead. Just 3 minutes dedicated to such a practice in the morning can do invaluable service to the cardiovascular system. Such habits, according to experts, are part of the morning protocol of long livers. In particular, it concerns 5 simple actions: immediate replenishment of water balance after waking up, morning sunbathing, light physical activity, anti-inflammatory nutrition, and mindfulness practices. Together, these activities take less than 20 minutes, but can significantly increase life expectancy. Each of these actions targets a specific aspect of aging that is often overlooked, creating a powerful synergistic effect that transforms health at the cellular level. The appeal of this approach lies in the absence of the need for expensive equipment, complex regimens, or grueling workouts. It's about simple, natural practices that meet the body's physiological needs. Imagine waking up full of vitality, enough to sustain activity throughout the day. Feel your joints functioning without the slightest discomfort, and realize that you are providing your body, your heart, brain, and all systems, with exactly what it needs to function flawlessly. The goal is not immortality, but to live your life to the fullest, enjoying vigor and independence at every stage. Like Arnold, Shirley, Thomas, Nancy, William, and Daniel, you too can experience significant improvements in your well-being if you start incorporating these 5 morning rituals starting